What's up, everybody? Welcome to Are You Down with LPT, the podcast where agents like you share their stories, experiences, and insights to help each other level up and thrive. In every episode, we're diving deep into the real-life challenges, wins, and lessons from the front lines. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, this is the place to connect, learn, and grow together. So, if you're ready to get down with LPT and take your game to the next level, let's jump in. Welcome to Are You Down with LPT? I'm here with John and Julie Larson. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
We are good.
All right. Well, looking forward to this. Want to talk a little maybe about your background, and then we were talking a little marriage. We can jump into that because you guys got a little unique story, being both here really in real estate and doing the building and real estate thing and developing and all that fun stuff. So, John, maybe we start with you because you were really the first maybe in this relationship to jump into real estate, right? How'd that all begin for you?
Well, Julie and I decided to build, I think after we've been married 4 years. We had had a house built after 2 years of marriage, and it was a fine, but there's a lot of things that went wrong with it. Some things that we'd asked for that didn't get done the way we wanted it to. I was very frustrated. And, of course, being a do-it-yourselfer, growing up on a farm, I can do it better.
Yeah.
So that's when we decided. We bought a lot in Timberline in Urbandale. Must have been about 23 years ago, started building 22 years ago, and actually turned into a custom home halfway through it. We found out we were expecting child number 2, both a little nervous at the time, so we put that house for sale and our current house for sale, and of course that one sold first. So it turned into a custom, and it was a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
First house, couple that had built 3 or 4 times. My first house, let's just say we walked away friends. Everything went great, but I learned a lot during the building process.
Did you actually make money?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
good.
I did, yes. Not as much as I expected to or wanted to.
But you didn't lose money, so that's a good start.
Not,
yeah, that's a great start.
They had really good taste. Make a long story short, they thought they were moving to Florida. They're in their young 60s, and their company at the last minute said, hey, can you go to Des Moines for a year or two? She did not want to be in Des Moines. So she got what she wanted. Yeah. It turned out great. Learned a lot, and then we moved on from there.
Yeah, and so it's kind of evolved over time. You've started doing some development, and kind of what else you have your hands in these days.
Yeah, we did. After about 2 years, we started doing a development up on the east side of Saylorville Lake. Called it Cherry Glen.
Oh yeah.
Cherry Glen Ridge, actually. It was 21 lots, and it turned out very nice. A lot of those were wooded walkout lots. Something that Ankeny really didn't have at the time.
Yeah.
It was a little bit off the beaten path from downtown Ankeny at that time. And it went very well. We ended up getting 5 homes in there to build. And at the time, we lived about a mile away, so it was really convenient. Then started growing our family more and more, and started getting into multifamily, I think, in 2015. So now we do a lot of custom homes, spec homes, townhomes. We'll probably put in 250 to 300 lots this year.
Wow.
And then currently we only have 90 apartments in construction stage, but we have over about 1,000 in the planning stage that'll be built in the next 2 to 3 years in the Des Moines metro area.
Yeah, that's all under J. Larson Homes?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then excavation business is called Legacy. And then once in a while I do have other partners on the development side.
Yeah, I think I saw a trailer driving by the interstate that said Legacy, right?
Yes.
Legacy Excavation
Yep.
or something like that. Yeah. Can I put a trailer out
You
there
can,
somewhere?
yes.
I feel like good advertising. Yeah. And so 20 plus years doing that. At some point, Julie came into real estate, right? How long ago was that? And maybe tell us a little bit about that transition, how it happened, and how it's going.
Okay. Yeah, I've been an agent for 3.5 years. It's been 10 years of John asking so nicely for me to come on board. My background is in sales, pharmaceutical sales, insurance sales. So I just enjoy working with people.
Yeah.
So this is my 3rd brokerage I've been to, and just feel like I found my spot. So that's been a little bit of the up and downs of figuring out where I just want to be around good people.
Yeah.
So this has been a good spot for me to land and figuring out the business. So,
Yeah. Well, we're excited you're here, obviously, and nice to be surrounded by good people. I was thinking about how many people and how many years experience, we have out there, and people that are willing to kind of jump in and help. And so I love being around that collaborative atmosphere. So what's the balance like for you guys as you navigate being married, working together, raising a family? How's that been?
It's you want to talk? Or
No, go ahead. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Yeah, it's pretty consuming industry, and so you just have to set your boundaries. And we have two things we do. We vacation together, and we go on a walk almost every night together. We walk our dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're either breaking down the day, or we disengage completely and just talk family, talk life, have fun together. We've started playing pickleball. So we just make it a point to have something besides real estate. Otherwise it consumes all day, every day, 7 days a week. It's always there.
It is. Yes, and it's a needed now society compared to when I started. We didn't have text. We didn't have emails on our phone. And now you're expected to return a call or an email within a certain amount of hours. Yeah. So it's really shifted. And there's definitely benefits to that, and there's definitely some disadvantages. We went on spring break with two of our boys, and we're talking to another couple, like how we'd been in the room for an hour or two, just answering emails. She's like, well, you're lucky you can bring your work with you, whereas I can't. She was a physical therapist, and it kind of hit home to me, like, that's interesting. It's a different way to look at it. Mm-hmm. It can be good, and it can be bad. Yeah. And I know we do try to get away a couple times in the winter and do set a time throughout the day when we're gone just to catch up on stuff. But like Julie said, it's you can never really get away from it. Yeah. Unless you really just shut the phone off. And
I think you hit it perfectly. Like there's good parts of that. Like a lot of times I go on real vacation and I sell a house and I actually make money, and not a lot of industries you can do that, make money on vacation. The flip side of that is, like, my wife is, she stays home with our kids, and she would like more of my attention, and I still struggle to find that balance. So if you guys got any great tips there, you can certainly help me in my marriage.
Nope.
It's a process.
Yes, exactly.
It's a process.
We're always learning. Yeah, we're trying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
You win some, you lose some. You just keep
but you learn from it, right? And
right.
when things don't go well, then you learn from it and figure out where you can improve. So,
well, the thing that's changed so much from when I started, is DocuSign and right signature, everything you can do on your phone, and just emailing it. I used to spend a day just delivering plans to the 20 to 22 vendors that it takes to build a house, and you'd have to drive all over and plan your days, print them off. Now, in a matter of 30 minutes, I can send out a house to bid, sitting on my couch at home or at the desk. So you become very efficient with the use of the tools we have, but it also it consumes your life too.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's tough to find that. And you guys got 4 kids,
we do.
Right?
4 boys.
And you're maybe dragging 1 or 2 into the real estate world, or 3 into the real estate world.
The 2 older ones work with us on the excavation side of it, so they're out doing the development side, before the streets are poured. And then 1 is going to college, and the other one has a landscape mowing business, and then works with us when he can.
Yeah.
So they're 23, 20, will be 21 next week, or 2 weeks, and then 18. So.
When you get sucked into real estate, I'm a 3rd generation real estate agent. So I got uncles and sister and all that. It sucks you in. I know how it goes.
Yeah. And they've been, ever since they could walk, been hanging out with dad and mom in the car.
Yeah. You live it. You really.
Right, exactly.
Like, this isn't an 8 to 5, so you're around it all the time.
Right. Right.
Like you said, vacation and weekends and all that stuff. So.
And we're blessed. They all have a decent work ethic.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to work.
Yeah.
They never were gamers, and just they get out there and make it happen.
Yeah. You a big gamer?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Just Candy Crush. No, I'm kidding.
Candy Crush. So tell us a little bit more about the land development, building side. What kind of current projects are you working on?
We've got a wide diverse of projects right now. We've got some townhouse lots that we're selling, that I build on, that are in the mid-30s on the southeast corner of Des Moines, an area called 3 Lakes. I bought 99 acres there about 5 years ago and have been going through that. Some big benefits down there on the southeast, or in Des Moines proper. if you build units that are 2 to 12 in size, you can get up to a 9-year tax abatement. So what we've seen of the interest rates rising over the last couple of years, that's been very favorable. You can have a 6 years, 100% tax abatement if you buy a duplex or a townhouse, and then it's a sliding scale for the next 3 years from 75, 50, 25% respectively. So we're doing quite a few rentals down there. What the benefit is, it's a little bit farther to drive. We live in Johnston. However, there isn't a lot of activity in that area. So we've had pretty good success down there with that. Then if you go to Norwalk, we've got 2 projects we've started down there, or almost finishing, I guess. Valley View's we're going to put our final plat in starting next week. And there, I believe, is 40 lots left in that one, and those are all sold. And then as you move west, we've got a very nice project between Arilla, which is where the chicken is. Everybody knows where the chicken is.
Yeah.
And Cumming. If you drew a straight line between the two, we've got 210 acres that we're developing there. Phase 1 is some really nice executive lots. Walk out to a creek, bike trail, 100-foot wide lots, so you can have an 85-foot wide house. Something that's it's hard to do. There's not a lot of that available. There'll be I think 248 lots in the one plat, or in the one development, and then across the street to the west we've got Falcon Heights, or we have Falcon Heights, and that will have townhomes, 53 single-family lots, and then also some apartments. The first lots will be ready this fall. Hope to have structures out there started this fall yet. I wanted to say summer, but sometimes my wife accuses me of being a little too aggressive on time frame, so we'll say fall.
I've never seen a developer be aggressive.
Right,
in
exactly.
timeline,
It's always the city. You got to blame it on them.
Yeah.
Yes. And then on the far west side of town, we've got 2 developments in Van Meter. One that caters to more of the 400 to 600 price point home, and then another one that caters more of the 600 price point on up. Dallas Center, we think we have 2 lots left now, 3 lots left. And those are very nice, wide lots with a lot of trees, kind of a quiet area, a little bit of a drive, but it's worth it. And then in Grimes, we have 5 spec homes, and we're starting another 5 in May. All the land that we have there developing is sold. And then between Polk City and Ankeny, we have a beautiful development called Antler Ridge. And there again, I believe we're going to have close to 400 lots in that development. We're paving Plat 1 today. We'll be finishing paving that. And then after you pave what's called the main line, you have to do what's called handwork, which is the intersections and where it connects to the street. So that'll be done by the middle of next week, and we'll have final plat there sometime in May, and houses will start in there in June. It's in the Polk City, city of Polk City, is what I'm trying to say, but the Ankeny School District. So if you look in the northwest corner of Ankeny, there's really not much for bigger lots with trees. This is gorgeous. It's beautiful. So Julie's marketing those, and Plat 1, where we're half sold. And I think once the streets go in and people can drive out there and actually get an idea where the lots are and how the street's going to lay out, I think they'll go pretty fast. Yeah. Plat 2 is shortly behind that. We'll pave that in 3 weeks. It's another 21 lots, and those are also 100-foot wide lots. And then Plat 3 will be paved sometime in June or July. We're just still doing the pipe on that, the water line, storm, and sewer. And I think there's another 54 lots in that. So quite a bit to pick from in that Ankeny Polk City area.
Yep. So Julie, your role in this today would be as
selling lots,
slinging real estate.
Yes.
Yeah. How many do you think currently listed? Do you
160?
know? 160 currently listed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you can tell his brain is full of a lot of things.
Yeah. So as you obviously you've done quite a bit over the 23. Is how many years you say? 23 when you started
23
that?
this summer. Yes.
Yeah. Any unique challenges along the way as you think about the last 23 years?
There are 2 things that kind of stick out. Julie and I did a home show. It must have been 2006. And at that time, we had boys that were 6, 4, and 2. Our twins were 2. So we had 3, 4, and 4.5 years. And when you do a home show, you want it to stand out. And Julie had a limited time to make decisions. So I remember there was a couple Saturdays where we had my parents or her parents came and watched the kids, and we'd go out and meet with the designers and make things. happen, so to speak. And so it was boom, boom, boom. And I think we built the house in about 7 months, and we ended up living in that house for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was great for our family. Had a little gym in the basement with a basketball hoop and a batting cage, and our kids were active in sports up until high school. So it was fun. It was fun. We did it to bring clients in to see, hey, this is how we build, this is what we do. And I think since then we built 12 houses with gyms. Wow. So it became pretty popular. So we did kind of a split level where our master was above the gym and had an 18-foot floor, 18-foot walls in the basement, and the basketball court and batting cage was downstairs. Wow. So I think that was a little bit of a challenge just because of the timing. You had to make decisions. You had to be done. That year, luckily, they delayed the home show by 3 weeks because there were some issues that just came out with a fire sprinkler. So a lot of the builders didn't realize that over 8,000 square foot in Johnston, which they included the garage, the square footage, required a sprinkler. So it delayed quite a few of us because some of the homes were that size and required that. So that gave us an extra 3 weeks to get things done, which we needed.
Yeah, good.
And then I also think the COVID period was a challenge. And at that time, we were doing a project in West Des Moines. It was an 89-unit condo building for high-functioning special needs. And a lot of the product got delayed. What we thought was going to be 2 or 3 months ended up being like 6 or 8 months. So people were expected to move in at a certain time frame, and we had to delay it just because of production. So that was pretty challenging, and not only answering to one homeowner, but many people that were planning to move in, having delays that we really couldn't, control. They're out of our control.
I think of the custom builds I had going during COVID, and not only delays because you're waiting for things to come in, but then all of a sudden prices just going crazy. And I'm sure that had to be difficult to kind of work around and navigate also.
It did. And luckily at the time, most of our stuff was locked in. If we were starting something new, we told them it was based on the market at that time. Because if you look at a graph of the lumber at that time, it kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And they may say, hey, we want to build this summer. Well, 2x4 might have doubled in price from May to August. So luckily we worked most of that stuff out. Most people were understanding that that's out of my control. Yep. We lock in the lumber once you sign a contract.
Yeah.
So we were very, very fortunate as opposed to some other builders.
Yeah. And John mentioned in at least 2006 when you were doing the home show, you were doing the picks.
Trying.
Do you still do that today?
I do a little bit.
Yeah.
Lindsay at John's office has been instrumental in helping do all that. She's having a lot of fun with it, does a good job.
So. Yes, very proactive, enjoys it, passionate about it, studies a lot. She's in her upper 20s, young 30s, so a little different mindset than what I have, but I think it's been refreshing. We've had a lot of good feedback from that.
Yeah, because it's always changing, right? And how you did in 2006 certainly is not what we're doing today.
Correct.
But
Correct.
Yeah, well, it's good that there's help there because as many hats as you're wearing, that's probably good not to have to always wear that one as well.
Right.
Most proud project you've done, house you've built, anything you can remember?
There's been quite a few. I think the best
Liberty
Landing, yes, which I talked about. We built during COVID, which was a challenge, and it was 89 units condo project, 3 stories that were sold to people that could basically live by themselves or sometimes needed help. But it was basically one building where everybody was together. They look out for one another, and it's refreshing to walk in there, and they're so happy. Are happy. They want to show you their place. They love to see people, and it was just refreshing. Sometimes as a builder, you go back to a house because there may be an issue. There may be some drywall settling cracks that you have to fix, or who knows what it may be. But it's always nice to go back in there because they're happy. They have their own place and they're proud of it. So that was very, very rewarding. We're working on another one right now that's 40 units. That's going to start in Grimes this summer. So I think that might be a trend that we look into doing in the next few years, different parts of the metro area.
I think it's good to be reminded sometimes, like you said, how proud they are. I had a closing a couple weeks ago with a first-time home buyer, and just the excitement. We start going through the motions and do it every day, and get a little. Well, me, I'm not speaking about you, but I just get a little callous sometimes. I'm like, because I do this every day, and then you're reminded in moments like that, like, oh yeah, we're a part of something pretty special. Whether building a house or selling a house, like this is a dream that people have, and you guys get to see that, and I'm sure realize it quite a bit.
Right.
So looking ahead, you've talked a little bit about, but what's next for you guys and J. Larson Homes and all the development?
Yeah, we have roughly about 650 acres that we own in the Des Moines metro area that we'll be developing over the next few years until she lets me retire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. That's not happening.
So we've got quite a bit to finish in that Norwalk area and develop. Waukee, we have quite a bit coming in the West Waukee area that we're going to start moving dirt this fall. Got our plans ready. Some of that area has to be rezoned and brought into the city. So working through all those motions right now. So a lot of times we'll buy a piece of dirt and really not do anything on it for over a year.
Oh.
Depends on the location of it.
Yeah.
Biggest thing when you buy land is where's the sewer.
Yeah.
Sewer they want to be a natural flow. Water you can push over the hill, and storm sewer, water's going to run any direction. But a sanitary sewer, most of the time they want it to have a natural flow. If not, you have to put in what's called a lift station, which costs some money. So very in tune with a lot of the cities throughout the metro of what's coming, where the sewers are at, what's available. Just because you have a piece of property that touches Waukee, there might be a piece that's a mile away that brought X amount of dollars. That doesn't mean that land is worth it, because the sewer may not be there for 2 to 5 years, depending on what the city plans or the development plans are between that piece. So there's a lot of things you have to look at when you buy land as far as how soon the sewer is going to be readily available and it can be developed.
Yeah. So big things coming. And
Yes.
Lots more, not surprisingly. So
And I think right now we've seen a big uptick this spring. I know if you look at the home sales in February, they're down nationwide 12%. But I think as Iowa, Des Moines market, we've got our own little audience. I don't think we ride the waves like the coast does or the whole nation.
Yeah.
We've got something special here. And we continue to grow.
Don't see the huge ups. We see ups and downs, certainly, but not to the extent of what they see on the coast or some of the larger cities.
Right.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
I hear you saying I have some good job security.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, you're not letting her go today. That's good.
No. Yeah. We'll bring that up in your review.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Julie, you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
And I have to bring this up, but Jazzercise is one of those hats, right?
That's her passion.
Yeah.
She loves it.
Yeah. So I have to ask. So tell me more. Like, how long you been doing it? How did it start?
10 years this week.
10 years.
I had a meeting at the community center in Grimes, Iowa, and I walked past this room with just people having fun, working out, dancing. So it's Dance Fitness.
Yeah.
It's been around 55 years.
55 years?
Yeah. I walked in my first class and I'm like, I want to do this. So it's a lot of fun and a good workout.
Yeah. How often?
I teach 3 times a week.
Oh, 3 times. So this is,
Yeah.
Oh, and you've only been once.
He's only been once. Not invited.
I do it online.
Yeah. You zoom in every time, huh? Well, I think we got to do a class for the office sometimes.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Everyone is welcome.
we're doing it. All right, I like
She's very
it.
good at it. She gets a lot of comments back that how people enjoy how she does it, and she is very good at engaging the people out in the audience.
Well, that's good. I am serious that we're gonna definitely set something up sometime. So we'll wrap up here. If they want to connect with you guys, both on the real estate side, the building development side, where's the best way to find you?
Yeah. John's website is larsondev.com, and you'll find everything there. My website is julielarsonrealestate.com. So either one, that's a great starting point.
Starting point, and then they can get in touch with either of you. So give us maybe one piece of advice. Leave us with one piece of advice that you'd give someone entering the real estate space, whether development, building, or just selling.
You mean as a buyer, or as that wants to get
as we think about our agents and kind of who we encounter? Like, if you had a piece of advice for us,
I think
agents.
you're starting out to be a sponge. Learn as much as you can from people that have been in it for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Don't be a know-it-all. Spend a day with a builder. Ride with them and see what goes into the house. So you're understanding what you're looking at. What's the guts of that house? Just have a good idea of what's behind it. I can tell the people that have done that and the people that are asking questions other than telling me. Yes, there's always something for me to learn also, but if you have a good understanding to tell your clients, just to give them confidence in what they're building is the biggest thing. Yeah. People are always second guessing everything. If you can say, well, they did this because you have to do that in order to do this. It's a step.
Yep.
If you can walk them through those steps, it's a lot easier. A better understanding. The more you know, the better.
Yeah. Be a sponge, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Julie, anything to add?
I say just give yourself grace and time if you're a new agent, because it's a vast industry.
Yeah.
And so just trust the process and give it time.
I was talking to a brand new agent last night, and she was writing her first offer, and she goes at the end of it, she's like, I realize how much I still have no idea. Like, I still need to learn.
Right.
And yeah, it's a process.
Right. I'm 3 years in and still learning. You're how many years in? Do you still learn stuff?
Still learning.
Yep.
Absolutely. Every day. Never want to quit doing that.
Well, just like the process, like with the closing, a lot of those are turned over to a closing agent. Spend some time to see how you can make her job easier and more efficient. Not just handing stuff off. Walk the shoes.
Yeah.
So you can talk the talk.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you guys. I want to end with one more question, because you brought this up earlier, but you like to vacation together. What if you could have what's the dream vacation?
Julie loves to snowmobile.
No.
I think we had a really good one this year. We went to Hawaii for 7 or 8 days.
Yeah, Maui was great.
Whole family?
Nope.
Oh, just do
No,
it?
it was a good vacation.
Yeah. Well, good for you guys. You need to get away, though. That's right. Yeah.
The family ones are a trip.
Those are
Yes,
trips,
that's okay. Good.
The
Yeah.
couple one is a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think we really haven't had a bad vacation.
No.
We've lucked out.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Hawaii. I'll let my wife not listen to this, but yeah. Well, appreciate you guys, and we've given a great way to connect with you, and thank you for the time and the expertise as well. All right, have a great day.
Yes, thank you.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Are You Down with LPT? Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you get some valuable takeaways to apply to your journey. New episodes drop every Friday, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss out. And hey, if you have your own story you'd like to share or questions you'd like to dive into, hit us up. Until next time, stay down with LPT and keep leveling up. Catch you in the next one.